I think as designers, being eco-friendly is being aware with the common materials that we take for granted. So in my case, single-use plastics are a common material that can be a solution to different kinds of waste problems that we have in the country. I'm Mica Agregado. I'm the founder and head of design of Plastics by Manila Automat. Plastics by Manila Automat really started as an upcycling studio aimed to renew the value of single-use plastics by getting our community involved and to turning them into modern-day recyclers through our sustainable programs, our upcycled materials, utilizing that single-use plastics in a more sustainable and adaptable material. And also do community programs to help them be engaged with the process and creating a more circular flow of collaboration between the community and us as Plastics by Manila Automat. So we're based in Katipunan, QC, so it's a really student-heavy area, and the youth is usually the ones that has the most interest with what we do with our upcycling programs. So we started with our collection drive, which teaches them how to segregate and distinguish the kinds of plastics we use for upcycling. And through those engagements, we were able to get our community into collecting different kinds of single-use plastics. They've become more aware in the process of segregation, cleaning, and then dropping off the plastics into our community drop-off points. We started making different kinds of items and objects, really just expanding the use of single-use plastics into homeware, accessories. But throughout that process, we were able to learn that the community is really the active ingredient into making these projects more sustainable in the long run. So through our upcycling programs, we eventually actually developed into workshops and working with communities through WWF, Order of Malta Philippines, and other organizations. We've created this livelihood program and teaching communities how to recycle and upcycle single-use plastics into making their own kinds of products based on their, what I call kakayahan, their ability and their skills as a community. I think as designers, being eco-friendly is being aware with the common materials that we take for granted. So in my case, single-use plastics are a common material that can be a solution to different kinds of waste problems that we have in the country. And I think to be truly eco-friendly is to innovate using these materials and making different kinds of solutions through the different kinds of applications we can make. So for ITOOH, we want to let people mix and match with the colors that we have available. But also, we want to show like a pop of color into your home by having distinct, very vividly colored clocks, coasters, bowls, and charcuterie boards for your home. And these are like the key accent pieces that we want to complete in your home setup. So it's really building bigger. So we've been producing in the background a series of stools, series of mirrors, make it more integrated with your home. So we're also exploring lighting, fixtures, especially with the properties of plastics. They tend to be opaque and somewhat transparent. So it's the colors from those plastics shined by the light would be a very interesting project to explore. So those are our upcoming projects, and really diversifying even further the use of single-use plastics.